Hey, this is Mike. Welcome to the Wandering Minds podcast.
This is Mickey, and today we have Amiia.
Amiia.
Hey.
Okay, Amiia. So tell me about you. I've gone through your IG. Mickey found you on Spotify. You got something that just dropped, right?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
The song is called Broke as Hell. It's a single that's going to be on my album I've been working on for 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Called Time to Overthink, but overthink.
Is that why it's taken so long? Because you've overthought it?
Honestly, truly, it's on brand for me.
Okay.
Just a ball of anxiety most of the time.
Really?
So, yeah. And I can express that through my music. But yeah, Broke as Hell is a single I wrote. It kind of talks about my mom and how I grew up, and also vibey though.
Okay.
Very vibey.
Yeah, good. So are you local? Are you from around here?
I live in Oregon.
Okay.
I am from 2 different places,
Okay.
Texas and Arizona.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Okay. So what do you prefer? Where do you prefer?
Where my home is at?
Yeah. Where would your heart be?
Hard. Because my mom's in Texas and my dad's in Arizona.
Okay.
I can't really pick. I can't pick.
Yeah.
I can't pick.
But it's not Oregon.
No. I love Oregon. Love to Oregon. Okay. But it's not Oregon. It's not
Yeah.
Oregon.
Well, then that's...
Yup.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I have love for Eugene, okay?
Yeah.
Some people think that I don't because I go on little rants about Eugene, but I have love for Eugene.
Okay, good. So you mentioned anxiety, which I didn't, from what I've seen, some of the pictures, the videos, you don't look like a person that would have anxiety. That is...
I have anxiety right now.
Really?
But I think I'm a perfectionist, so
Okay.
I prepare a lot before I go out and do things.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is kind of like a more not watered down, but more composed version of what
Gotcha.
I was going. Like even like my posts on IG and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or my TikToks, those are like you don't see the rough drafts,
Right.
because the rough drafts are real rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even when I'm performing on stage, I nearly have like a panic attack before I come out. But everything, just like seeing the people dancing and like pulling them in out of a state of just like, oh, I'm at a bar, or I'm at this venue or whatever, and like kind of pulling them together. It's like now we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And until I get off stage, sorry, you're in it with me.
Yeah.
It's kind of that kind of vibe.
So, and you just go into a different place at that point, right?
Yeah.
Or a different space mentally, I would imagine. How do you get prepared before you go on stage though? I mean, how is it that you have to find your, whatever it is that you have to find? I mean, do you go through like a meditation? Do you go through prayer, whatever? I mean, what is it that you do? Drink, smoke? It could be anything.
I used to drink.
Okay.
But it was really messing up not only like my stage presence, but like the day after, it like hits me hard. Like I kind of go into like a full like depressive mode after I drink, and I'm like, okay, this can't be my vice. I can't do this anymore. So I kind of got into meditating. I feel like now it's kind of just getting more familiar with whoever I'm doing a show with, sitting in the back with other artists and hearing that they're all kind of like in that mindset, even the ones that you think, because I know you had Cameron Day on here.
Yeah.
Like I've been backstage with Cameron, and even Cameron's like, has their own reserves, but it's like as an artist, you got to put your best foot forward when you get on stage. So it's kind of nice to have other minds that are in that same state. Yeah.
Well, and honestly, it seems to me like we've had a lot of artists on this show, and I would say 10 out of 10 have like some sort of anxiety or some sort of...
Yeah.
Because you're
really
an artist,
interesting.
you're sensitive about your art.
Well, yeah.
You're sensitive
and then putting
about
it out there
for the whole world just to
Yeah.
like consume. And even in the moment when you're like in the studio, when you're writing the song or coming up with the idea, to you, it's like, to me personally, I feel like this is everything, and then sometimes you put out a song and people aren't really feeling it the way that you're feeling it.
Yeah.
But like, maybe there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 people who are like, I love that song. It kind of reminds you like, okay, at
that
least,
moment in time.
like at least I put this out. because I have so many songs I have not put out yet,
Really?
and I'm like, because I'm so like in my head about it,
Yeah.
overthinking, you know.
But I think what you just said is really important, because as an artist, you're putting yourself out there, you're making yourself vulnerable, but at the same time, you could be really helping other people, and you are really helping other people. I mean, especially the people that are feeling your music, they're feeling it. It doesn't matter how many, but those people, they're feeling it, you're helping them. Don't be afraid to put your stuff out there.
You're right on that. You're right on that. And it's time.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started performing, when you started singing, when you started doing entertaining, whatever it was?
I was like 6 or 7.
Oh.
And the neighborhood that I grew up in, I befriended like all the neighborhood girls and stuff, and I would get us all together to like do like a little girl group, and I would make people pay like 5 cents, whatever,
5
to
cents.
watch us sing. And I was like, get together, 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
You need to be on beat. You're not on beat. Like, or you got to remember the dance moves or whatever. So that kind of like introduced me to music. And then after that, I did. I grew up singing in the church with Gospel Music Workshop of America, which is one of the largest gospel music chapters. My grandma was like, you're going to every meeting and stuff. And even when I had anxiety there, they were like, she needs to be singing solos, which gave me so much more anxiety, because you're like
Right.
13, 14 in front of these professional singers going
Yep.
in this booth singing and releasing CDs and stuff for other people to hear. And they're like, put Amiaa on. She has to be singing. She has to be singing. And I'm just like, so several takes were done to make sure that you don't hear like the shakiness in my voice. But yeah, I sang there. I also did sing in pageants.
Cool.
I sang in local talent shows, plays, funerals, like anywhere that they needed a singer. I was there. I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool to hear it. And you started so young. Was this now was this, and I asked this to all the artists, was it something that you were molded to do? Did you have family members? Did you have people around you that were artistic and singing and stuff? Or was it just you and you found your voice?
Honestly, it was, I would say it was just me.
Okay.
I sing about this in my upcoming project, but I had a very tumultuous relationship with my mom.
Okay.
Like, she didn't like that I sang, and I think it reminded her, now that I'm older and I can process it, reminded her of a lot of the artistic endeavors that she wanted to have prior to having kids, and that she missed out. Because I remember my mom used to make so many creative YouTube videos and music videos and things like that, and she kind of just like set that to the side. And I remember my mom would always walk in the room. She'd be like, stop singing. Don't be singing. Da, 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 da. And to me, I'm just so stubborn. My head is so big. I barely keep it like from falling off my neck. But I was like, no, I'm going to keep singing. And maybe for a while it was like, oh, let me prove to my mom that I can do this. So I would send her my songs and stuff. She'd like, it's okay. I guess it's fine or whatever. And then more recently, I'm kind of just like, I love my mom. But I'm hearing so much encouragement from the people in my life currently who know me, who know how much time and effort I put into this craft, that this is what I'm going to do. And I like it, so it definitely, I didn't really have too much encouragement. Now my grandma is my number one writer. Mickey, we stan Mickey. Like, we love Mickey. She's always like, what shows are you doing? She was the one who encouraged me to like, try out for.
Your grandma's name is Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My grandma's name is Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah. We stand Mickey too. We got 2 Mickeys. We stand. But yeah, my grandma's name is Mickey, and she's kind of like my cheerleader. Like, anything I'm doing musically, she's like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, da 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 da. You got this, you got this. Send me your album cover, send me da 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 da. So that's good. Yeah, she's supportive, but she's also was the one who encouraged me to go into gospel music workshop. So like mine's.
Yeah. So now with your mom, as far as that goes, do you think do you think in her mind she's trying to help you, like as in critiquing you to make you better? Or is it that she's like really trying to like just squash the dream?
I could be.
I don't mean to get too personal, but I
Yeah.
am kind of interested in that because it does help people understand the struggle.
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
I think we've kind of had this, it's like a weird relationship where it's kind of like competitive to a certain degree.
Okay.
But then I know that like she does give me like critiques when I'll send her something that I haven't released yet, and she'll be like, okay, or I'll call her when I'm in the studio sometimes. Because like even though me and my mother don't have like the kind of relationship I wish we had, she's still my mom, and I care about her feedback. So I'll be in the middle of a studio session and be like, okay, Mom, can you hear this, or what do you think about this, or whatever, and she'll give me good feedback. So I don't think that
in her mind it's constructive criticism, maybe. And to you
80%.
Okay.
80%. There's still that 20% because I know my mom.
Yeah.
There's still that 20% where it's like, okay, you.
So this might be an interesting question. Is she an older mom or a younger mom to you in respects to your age?
Did she have you at a young age?
She did.
So you guys are relatively close in, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when parents, like you have people that had, my sister had her son or her daughter when she was 15. That means they're only 15 years apart. So there's that really close, like, and I'm not implying that this is your situation, but they're so close that mom didn't have her own childhood. So now she's kind of jealous of my child, making my childhood dream happen, whatever.
Well, my mom had my oldest brother. I guess they would be more closer in age when she was like 15 or 16. For me, I think my mom felt that her childhood, or not her childhood, but her youth was like robbed a little bit. Yeah. Because like I got 7 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Like, there's not much time to like really focus on yourself as a parent, like who you are and building up, you know, your own personal characters and stuff like that without feeling like you're taking away from your children. Yeah. So I completely understand my mom in that regard. But I do feel like growing up, I kind of felt like I had to take the placement of my mom's friends. Like I was like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, hearing my mom's burdens about dudes and work life and all this stuff that it just felt like my therapist told me is like a parentification, becoming your mom's parent or your parent's parent, at such a young age where your childhood is kind of robbed.
You were her support system at such a young age. So that's, I don't mean to go down that, but it
this is
well, it really does help people understand certain struggles and why anxiety happens, and that's kind of my overall thing is because you have anxiety, and it could have a lot to do with maybe mom having this negative kind of impact on your performance or your art. Yeah. So, but what about dad? He's in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Is he supportive of you?
My dad doesn't know I do music.
Okay.
I think he knows I perform. Yeah. Honestly.
No, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I was curious. So what do you like about performing? What's the thing that you love most about performing? Is it just the singing? Is it the dancing? Is it the overall show? Is it the people? What is it that you love about performing?
Well, it feels good to me.
Okay.
And I like to do things that feel good.
Yeah.
And seeing all because it's not just getting on stage, there's just so much that goes into being an artist, especially as an independent artist. It feels like I have to do the job of like 20 people. Really? And so once I'm on stage, I'm like, I secured this. Like I have to take notes and be humble to a certain degree, but I'm like, I secured this venue. I'm singing with these artists that are like, I thought were untouchable before I even pursued doing music. These lyrics I wrote, I spent time in the studio. Like I planned out how the show is going to look like to a certain degree, because there's some things you don't have control in. Yeah. But all of that coming together and seeing it is like mind-blowing for me, because you put together. That's, and it feels bragging good. Rights. Oh yeah, I love it. It feels respect great. To that for sure, because that right there speaks a lot about your character.
your grind, your hard work, your determination.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a lot of determination.
And you've had a lot of shows recently, right?
Yeah. So many shows. I mostly perform at the Big Dirty because I love their venue. I love the lighting there. But I've also performed at the Holt Center Sessions. Honestly, every venue that's here,
Yeah.
I've footstepped my stompers on on the stage, except for the McDonald Theater.
Okay.
But that's on the list because I was like to myself the other day, I was like, what if I just take a picture in front of it and like manifest it?
There you go.
You know?
That's how it works.
Yeah, seriously. And just keep it on my little nightstand.
So is there a reason you haven't played there? I mean, is it hard to get into? Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm hardly ever on that side of town.
Okay.
And so when I do drive by it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. You know, you mostly see like big name people perform there. And sometimes it can seem like unattainable until like I did the Holt Center and one of my favorite performers, SZA, performed there like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And it felt so good to be performing on a stage that someone you look up to was performing on.
Well, like you said, those artists that you thought were untouchable. Right? And now you're performing with them.
That's
so
true.
Who's to say the McDonald Theater is unattainable?
Right.
Right.
Okay, we stand Mickey.
So what are you working on right now?
So I'm not sure exactly what songs are going to be on the album officially. But I'm currently just kind of like a waiting game, waiting for people to turn in their features and seeing if I like their features, how it stands, or if I need them to go back in. But like all of my verses are completed, so it's kind of just waiting for that.
Yeah. How big's the album gonna be?
I don't even know yet.
You don't know?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'll know closer to in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any music videos that you're working on or
so
like that?
For the song Broke as Hell that I just released and for Obsessed, I just posted about it. I'm looking for a videographer, find somebody to film that. And the thing is, when you put like a call response, and my anxiety, I got like 30 people that are like, yes, hit me up. You know, I got you. Now I'm like, okay, I have to like
filter through
to see who vibes with me and who, but it will be coming soon. Yeah.
Good. I know Phases is in Portland. He's really good. He works with my nephew. My nephew does Guilty Love. Phases is really good. He price wise, I don't know, but there's people out there for sure. But yeah, you talk to Cameron.
Yeah, I know.
His guys seem to be good. The video that he put out looked really, really good. So, but what other than singing, what else are you interested in doing?
Well, I also do burlesque locally. The only black burlesque dancer out here, and I've been doing it for 3 years.
Awesome. Yeah. Where's that at?
I perform everywhere.
Well, explain what that is for people that don't know.
Burlesque is an art form of seduction, I would say. Okay. It's like slow tease. It's not the same as stripping.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
No haters to my strippers, though. No haters to my strippers. It's not the same because, like, with strippers, you're in the faces of those people and you're bringing them back. You have there's a whole other side to that. With burlesque, it's here I am on stage and it feels more controlled.
It's choreographed, right?
You have an idea of what everything is going to look like and you spent maybe a few months prior preparing for something like that. So it's a fun way of expression, and my name is totally different. I go like BB Boudoir, and I've had that name. And I had to Google when I first started, like make sure I'm not picking anybody else's name. But yeah, that's been a fun endeavor to do. And I definitely, when I perform singing, a lot of my burlesque will come out. Like I'll like to wear gloves, and the arts kind of merge together.
Yeah, they blend. Okay.
Yeah.
So is burlesque? No, there was a movie. It probably years ago now, but I think it had Christina Aguilera. No. Is that burlesque though?
Oh,
is that?
What
know what I'm talking about?
That is not burlesque. Okay. It is burlesque, but it's what people think it is. But it's not burlesque.
What the heck is the name of that movie?
It's burlesque.
Oh, is that the name of the movie?
With Christina Aguilera. There's Cher in it. There's
Yeah, Pink.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
head.
it's different than what you do.
It is. It is different,
but similar.
But there's some similarities. It's so funny that you say that though, because so many burlesque dancers are like, I freaking hate that movie. That movie ruined what burlesque is.
Oh shit.
But it's a fun. It honestly, it piqued my interest and kind of got me thinking like, oh, that's fun. That's kind of cool. Like, I could get into that. So yeah, I performed in Eugene, Portland, Roseburg most recently.
Cool.
And the Roseburg show was so fun. I got into this theater that was probably one of the nicest theaters I've ever been into. The lighting was cool. They had like balconies up in the front for people, and it sold out. And then we had a list of people to call if somebody left, because there were people leaving because they were mad. They were like, we can't even see the burlesque dancers. It's so packed in here. So they were leaving, but as soon as they left, we just called in more people.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
Yeah, it's a fun it's a fun time.
So how do you get past your anxiety with burlesque? Did I say it right? Burlesque.
I actually don't have anxiety when I do burlesque.
Okay.
Like none. Okay. And I was telling some of my performers, because I work with a lot of drag performers or comedians, or like it all crosses over, like the circus. Like the circus. It is like the circus in this like.
I'm gonna have to go watch a show then.
It's fun.
Right in my alley.
It's great. Wait, what was the question?
Anxiety. You say you don't get anxiety with.
Is the anxiety different because with singing you're having to sing, right? Whereas like burlesque, you're more or less dancing, right?
Yeah, and I'm very confident in dancing. I'm very confident in moving my body and doing like. I'm just so, I don't know, but with singing, my bad. But with singing. It's just more because I'm so vulnerable in my music.
Okay.
And
like from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
I'm more of me really shows. I'm not saying that in burlesque it doesn't, but I can do a lot more like sexy things and fun things. I did a Doja Cat's Moo song, and I like put two fries up my nose, and everyone was laughing, and it was fun, you know? But that doesn't really go with the vibe of like the music I write, but it's fun to be able to like express that side of you.
I love that song. I put it on and people are like, what the hell are we listening to? I'm like, it's funny.
It's a fun song. Like, don't think too much about it. You're processing it too much.
Yeah, that's true.
Just enjoy it.
Right.
Anyway, that would be funny to see.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. So do you go, have you sung at the places that you perform burlesque at, or are they different?
So my friend Red, who's a drag queen out here, has a show called Boyoyoing. It's so funny. And they did a Pokemon themed show. And I usually don't do shows like that because it's more, I feel like sometimes it can be more niche. And you have to be a certain type of person to perform in those shows or have a certain kind of branding around it. But I was like, you know what? Sign me up, baby. And so I did the Moo song, and then I also wrote a song called Jigglypuff because I was Jigglypuff for the Pokemon theme thing. So, and you know what irritates me so much is I will put out these like heartfelt songs where I'm like, my heart, da-da-da. And everyone will be like, okay, but I sing Jigglypuff, the whole audience is like, yes, yes, right. And then waiting out the door, like, so when is this coming out? And then I put it on my Facebook. I'm like, oh, should I put this song? And everyone was like, yes, you need to da-da-da-da. And I'm getting so many messages. I did that 2 weeks ago. I'm still getting so many messages from people who are like, when are you gonna release that Jigglypuff song? And so I had my friend draw up an album or single cover art for that, and that'll be dropping next week just because. Cool. Just because it's a fun song. It's very vibey.
High in demand.
Yes, you know, I can't control what the people want.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Well, I think people want like, I mean, heartfelt is great, but it's like the Moo song, right? Like happy, like fun music. I think people need that especially right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's different, you know. The mood song's different.
Yeah.
Like, who's singing about I am not a cat, I'm a cow. Like, no one's doing that. It's so funny.
I think I probably heard it once, and it was probably
and I'm singing it, and because I would put it on. I have a play. Sometimes I have my own playlist at the gym, and I would play my playlist, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is on the radio playing at the gym?" And I'm like, "Bitch, I'm a cat. I'm not a cat.
I don't say meow." It's funny.
Well, so that kind of goes to a good question that I ask a lot of people. When you're listening to music and being inspired by music, are you inspired by lyrics or the music, the tone, the melody of the music, or the lyrics of the music?
So when I'm listening to like other people's
music? Other people.
So like the first thing I think that catches my attention is probably like the vibe, the mood of it. And then, because the thing is, people think that they like, sometimes they do, but a lot of times initially, I don't think people really be listening to like the lyrics, especially when you go into a new venue. Yeah. There's an artist on stage. People, they don't really give a fuck. Can I guess?
Yeah. Frick yeah.
They don't really give a
freak.
I said frick yeah.
They don't care what you're singing about. They care about how you make them feel.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, how are you pulling in the audience? So, like, for me, vibe, how you're dressed, how you're acting, how just your whole aura around you. Are you real? Are you fake? Like, I can usually tell. I can tell, and sometimes that comes with being a new artist. You know, you're trying to learn and find yourself on stage in front of a bunch of people. It can be so nerve-wracking. Like, I've been there. But once you've seen an artist go to, because I like to go just to venues just to watch other artists. Like, even if I'm not on the lineup, I like to just see. And you can kind of tell when an artist has been doing it for a long time and when someone's new. But then what separates those two people is still how real they are on stage, their vulnerability. Because you can be doing this for a very long time. And I see you on stage and it's like you're rehearsing and it's not authentic. Yeah. It's like this is cool and all, but like I came here to feel something. Yeah. Like that's really what you're supposed to do as
it's
an
too
artist.
Mechanical, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I look for. Mood, vibe, energy, aura.
Yeah. So I do actually listen to lyrics. I like hearing the story. Ooh. But of course, you know, like when I'm lifting weights, when I'm working out, it's more about how this music is making me, how this is pumping me up. So I go both. I definitely feel that. But I love lyrics. I love hearing the story. Why is this making me feel? Why is this person writing this? Yeah. So, and it goes along with what you're saying.
Once I got the vibe, then I'm like, okay, cool. Let me hear a little bit more.
Let me understand why.
And hear what's going on. What's going on in your mind? Why did you write this? Like I 100%, I feel that.
Do you think that there is a lot of really talented people locally around here?
I think so. Yeah, there's plenty of talented
people. We talk about this a lot. We feel like there's a lot of really untapped artistic, you know, potential here that really hasn't blown up yet. What do you think is holding people back other than anxiety?
I think it's hard for what I wish I could see more is just like artists coming together, like even if we're not singing.
I agree.
Just coming together and sitting in a room and talking or more jam sessions. Like, it's so hard to get people to like leave your studio and like connect. Yeah. And find like authentic collabs. Like I'm here reaching out to people being like, oh, okay, I need collabs. And it's like random people I've never met before. And like, that's cool and all. But like, I asked like, let's get some coffee or sit down. And they're like, they're busy. And I understand people's lives are busy, but I don't feel comfortable putting you on a body of work that I have if I haven't sat down, if I don't know who you are, if I haven't had a conversation. Yeah. So it would be nice to have more artists just getting to know one another and off of the whole professional vibe. I'm Amiaa Nectar. Like, just be cool with it. Let's
be a person. Let's go.
Let's be a person. Like, let's
not a performer.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Well, your music is very personal, and so if you don't have a relationship with someone, it would be hard to bring that in.
Yeah.
Right? When you're trying to express yourself, it seems like that would not be a violation, but kind of like a violation, right? Because you're letting someone in, there's that vulnerability. And then if you don't know them, that's uncomfortable for sure.
I had a friend, their name is Kiki. They're in a band called Baby Smooth. I love them.
Shout out.
But I met with them for a few projects, and they were like, you know, Amiaa, this one seems really personal to you. And I don't want to come on to a project or a song of yours if this is something that's going to help you heal, or if this is something that you need to get out. And I like appreciated that, because there are people who are like, I got you, I'll just send you whatever. And it's like, that's not even the vibe of whatever it is that I'm going. But like sitting down and talking to these artists is where I really can get to know like what your intentions are with my song.
Yeah. Well,
that's real though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be, because you're, again, going back to this is you. This is your personal story.
Yeah. And I would do the same. I would do the same for, because I actually have a lot of collabs out, because I was like, yeah, you know, I'll see what this vibe is. And honestly, all the collabs eat. I love them all. But they were definitely moments in where I was experimenting with other artists experimenting. Like they didn't have a clear idea of what sound they wanted to put out. We were kind of all just like, smoke cess. Let's get this recorded back-to-back songs or whatever and see whatever sticks. Kind of thing.
Yeah. That it's interesting, because you brought up the point of sitting down and just talking, getting to know somebody. And I had a guy from Portland on, his Young Tokes, really good guy, more gangster rap style music. And he doesn't know a lot of people down here, and he's only in Portland. Right. And it's like, if people from Portland would come down and people here go there, it's like, you guys can blow up this little West Coast part of the area. I mean, you guys could really blow shit up, because I really personally believe we have so much talent here, young talent too. Yeah. You know, everybody we've had on are in their mid-20s, super, super, really energetic and level-headed, but ready to go. And I think it does have a lot to do with, let's sit down, let's make it work. Let's all collab. Yeah. But so do you think, and I'm only asking you because we've had a lot of males on this show, is there a lot of female talent
you're
around
the first
here?
female.
Yeah. Not the first female, but the first female artist that we've had. But is there more, is there a lot of female artists out there?
Let's watch the tumbleweed go by. No.
Really?
There isn't that many. I feel like it's kind of been an advantage for me as an artist out here, because most of the time when they need some, they're like, they hit me up for it, because there's not that much representation. It's good on you, but still it becomes a part where I'm like, I just wish there was more. Now there are, I would say, just to hone it in a little bit more too, I guess, like artists that also sing the kind of same vibe that I sing. Because there are other artists out here too doing their thing. Like I have a friend, Kalista, who does like jazz, or like, what is that? Not steampunk, but like electric swing, like electric swing type vibe. I have 2 friends that do that actually, and they're both females. But I'd say other than me, my friend Des Brock, who also goes by, whose singer name is Ziri Sun. They just put out a project, and I'm the only feature on there because we're like this. And so I'm hoping to see in the next year or so their platform grow, them as an artist grow. They'll also be featured on my album coming out too. So just to shine more light. But other than that, I'm just like, because for me, when I see another artist who does the same genre as me, I'm like, come here, please. Like, there are many artists out in Portland. So when I first started singing, I was like, well, where are the other R&B soul girlies? They're not here. They're in Portland. So I would go up to Portland and I would watch all the performers and stuff. But for them, it's very cliquey. Yeah. Like either you're in the group or you're not in the group. And if you're an outsider, you kind of be treated like a fangirl. And I am not a fangirl. I am a fan of you, but I'm not a fangirl. Yeah. So it made me feel very like isolated. Now I've been going up to Portland nearly every week for the past 3 or 4 weeks. doing interviews up there, modeling, and slowly finding my way and push into Portland. Networking.
Yeah.
But specifically with female artists, because I've actually already done collabs with some male artists out there, but the female artists are a little bit more weary of outside talent. So just merging those two would be great. But if you're out there and you sing music and Eugene, say hi. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what brought you here then, from Arizona or Texas?
I moved here with some stupid dude.
Oh, okay.
Motherfucker.
Anyways.
He's stupid.
He is stupid. He's dumb, all that doo-doo face kind of thing.
Doo-doo dunderhead. Okay,
we're just throwing like playground insults. Egghead.
So by then, you were settled here and you liked it. You were like established a little bit and decided to stay.
Yeah. Actually just started doing burlesque before I sang. And that was kind of a way of just saying like, I'm going to do whatever I want. You can't, cause like the relationship was really controlling and it made me feel like I lost a lot of who I was. And it was kind of just like a fuck you. And, this is my body. This is my mind. This is who I am. So, and I'm going to do with it with what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I was singing a lot in that relationship, like in the house, obviously, I had my own in-home studio, and that partner was just not very supportive of my artistry, like very kind of like, I'm the person who's supposed to be in the spotlight, not you. You're supposed to just be helping me maintain my esteem. And for a while, I didn't mind it because I like to feel needed. It's the Virgo in me. Like to build up people, but it made me start feeling very like I was cheating myself out of something more.
That's good that you recognize that.
Because you were.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then you started doing burlesque, and so then that's what's kept you here.
I started doing burlesque. Then I started doing music, and it's been a fun ride. I've done festivals, so many, which is fun, which is great. Eugene itself, though, I'm starting to feel a little bit kind of like I'm throwing out a line and nothing's like catching in the way that I want it to catch. Yeah. So that's why I'm really branching from Eugene to Portland. I'm also in the process of creating a market, like blocking down half of downtown Eugene. And so this will be like in March, where I'm going to have Portland vendors, artists, food, even from Eugene, of course, local musicians, things like that, just to be able to kind of like bring in that space that I felt like I've been missing. Like I'm tired, like no hate, no shame to like the trap rappers out here or the hippie dippies. But like, oftentimes I feel like I'm the outside talent. Like I feel very like people, I'm here in the middle of something that else is happening. And the audience will kind of, like they eventually catch on. But that's more towards the end of my set. But like at first they're like, wait a minute, this is not what everybody else did. You're different. So that's been my hub. Like I've been working with Lane Arts Council and currently trying to work with the city, but like trying to make a little
expand it.
I think that's awesome.
Some what I see in my art.
That you see that it's missing here and for you, and so you're just building it. That's awesome.
Trying to put us on.
So that obviously feels very isolating. You feel very isolated by that. That's gotta, to some degree, does that like make you just be like, why bother? Or you seem very much, I'm doing this.
Yeah, no. Not the why bother. Like that, whether this is like something that goes the distance or not, like music is something that I'll find ways to do throughout the entirety of my life.
Yeah. So it's going to go the distance.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give up. Yeah. Because for me, it's just not a matter of giving up. Like giving up is not, I don't know how to explain it. But
well, it's just not an option.
Yeah, it's not an option because like I don't think about that.
Yeah.
for me, it's like, oh, okay, if this place isn't gonna work, I'm gonna just move to another place.
Yeah.
If that place doesn't work, I'm gonna move to another place until like I find my target audience. Right now, I feel like a lot of my support comes from random people on TikTok. They're not random people. I mean, they follow me and stuff, and they make videos to my music and share it and stuff like that.
Cool.
And that's been such a fun ride. And I think only because I've been doing music for 3-4 years, the people who know me or have gone to my shows are kind of just like waiting to see what happens next in my journey. And the hype might have died down a little bit. But whenever I'm like posting about a new show or something, then all of a sudden I get more. Yeah. They're back. They're like, oh, okay, I'm supporting. So having the mix of like my social media, TikTok following, and then my following here kind of helps me stay a little bit level-headed. And then my partner, my boyfriend Chewy, he's so supportive. Like he's at all of my shows. He bought a camera to take pictures of me. Yeah. He created his own little Instagram for Amiia and my Burlesque page. Like this dude is like superhero, Superman, like so freaking supportive. And he's not jealous too, because there's a lot of dudes specifically that would be jealous if their girl did Burlesque. But like he's not. He's like, yep, that's my baby.
That's good.
That's my baby.
That's good.
And it's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of your issues is taking 2.5 years to get your album out.
That's true. That's true. Right? Dang.
I'm just being real with you. Well, you know what I mean, though. People want your content.
That's true.
And I think that's a big thing for you. Even if you just put out singles every once in a while, at least get something out.
That's true.
For your fans to have something to like, okay, I can't wait for the album. Because that's just the way it is. That's just how the industry works, right?
Yeah. You got to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you got
to stay relevant.
I always say that about this is one artist, Normani. She put out like one song called Motivation, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna pop off, she's gonna blow up. And then she just didn't write anything for 4 years, and it's kind of like cool, you know,
but you see my point, right?
Yeah.
That in order to stay relevant, you got to stay active.
That's true.
That's the hardest part about it, is staying active. But for you, it just doesn't seem like that. The personality that you're showing me, it doesn't seem like you have that issue about you. But yet it's taken 2.5 years.
You know, it's funny too. Trey linked us together, and Trey said something to me that always stuck with me. It was like a few months ago, and he said, there's something about you, Amiia, like you just keep things interesting. Like even if you're just shit, sometimes I shave my head twice at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I did a live, and everyone's like, what the heck? Or like bleaching my eyebrows, or doing a solo trip out to Portland at some godforsaken time. So it's not just my music. I think that I keep people interested, which obviously I'm a musician, so that's a big part, but also who I am, and how I present myself online too, which is really, sometimes being real can be good. Other times it's very cringy to people to see you do strange stuff, but that's not, be as it may, as if it's cringy, you ain't forget it. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, being a free spirit, a free spirit, though, that's what you are. And I think that is what too many people aren't. In a sense, to a degree, they're afraid to just be who they are a lot of times. And I think that's a sad place in society that we have.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're full of spirit, though.
Yes, she is.
I'm full of something.
So you have another song coming out in a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's called Jigglypuff.
That's right.
The Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff. And then do you have another show lined up right now?
I have a show on the 22nd. It's at the Big Dirty. Cameron Day is on the lineup. And it's called the Holiday Festival.
Okay.
So, yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. This will be coming out after that. Do you have anything again after the 22nd? Right, because what's today? Christmas is next weekend.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to be eating, opening gifts.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. What was your inspiration for Jigglypuffs?
It was the
Pokemon themed drag show.
Okay, so
but also it's very
what's Jiggly and what's Puffy on that in that song? Or is that yet to
Is
be?
Jigglypuff a character for Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
so
not
at first it
familiar.
goes Jigglypuff, Jiggly, and I sing that for like a bar or two, and then I go into rapping, which rapping is something I'm over the past few months have become more familiar with. I'm not
so it's not your
heart, but I can do it. I can write some bars, and it's a very sexually forward song.
Okay.
It's such a fun song. Mostly just fun, cool vibes, and I can't wait to. I already have some people that I work with because I'm a bartender. My day job or night job, whatever you want to call it. My coworkers are like, I'm gonna be in the video. I said, okay, well, you better pop that pussy or shake some ass. Because if not, then you can't get on the video. Because this is not my typical like crystals and meditation baby.
This is that other personality.
This is divine feminine.
There you go.
Like sexual. Like it's not a different personality. It's the same, but I think that like sometimes like spirituality gets seen as like just one side of just like, oh, there's so many sides to it. There's the dark feminine, there's the sexual feminine, there's so many different sides to me as a woman, and I don't want to feel confined to one genre or feel confined to being just like one thing. And so if I want to put out a song that's vibey and people are feeling it, then I'm gonna put that song out.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's all about. You're an artist.
And that's what I feel.
Okay, so tell people how they can reach you, where they can get.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. All of my social media is Amiia Nectar, AMIIA NECTAR. If you want to see me be weird, follow my TikTok. If you want to see me more polished, follow my Instagram. And if you want to see weird tweets at 2-3 a.m., follow my Twitter, which is Amiia Nectar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or go watch your burlesque shows.
Go watch my burlesque shows. Follow me on IG because I always post my when songs are dropping, when I'll be in shows, and support because artists are nothing without support.
Absolutely.
True.
All right. Well, thank you.
No, thank you.
I enjoyed having you. It was fun.
Woo!
Okay, we're out.